To install the power grades, second mouse button click on the gallery background, click Import, then navigate to where you unzip the downloaded files. Then select the DRX files and click Import. Along with the power grades, you'll also need to install the output LUTs. To do this, open Project Settings, then in Color Management, select Open LUT Folder. Copy over the FilmUnlimited LUTs, then click Update Lists. To apply the power grades, middle mouse button click on the thumbnail, or just drag and drop the thumbnail onto the node graph. Before you begin working with the power grades, you need to make sure Resolve is set up correctly. In the general options, untick Use S-curve for contrast. Since we're working underneath a print LUT that already has an S-curve, you don't want to double up. Then I like to tick Use Legacy Log Grading Ranges and Curve, as I prefer the way this works with the footage. But whether you do this or not is up to you. In the Color Management tab, set the LUT interpolation to tetrahedral. Then make sure the color signs are set to DaVinci YRGB, and the timeline color space is set to the default setting of Rec 709 2.4 gamma. Some of the nodes are color space aware, so changing this setting to anything else will result in slight differences. The film emulation expects Alexa footage as the input. If you're grading Alexa footage, you can just apply the power grade and you're ready to start grading. If you're grading footage from another camera, you will first need to transform your footage to match the Alexa. There are a few ways to do this. The best method is to use a profiled camera matching transform, like my two Alexa power grades or LUTs. Something like Cinematch will also work, but from my testing, the Alexa matching was not accurate, so I do not recommend it. To use one of the two Alexa power grades with FilmUnlimited, first apply the two Alexa power grade. If you're using a version of two Alexa that features multiple power grades, use the version that outputs log C. Once applied, remove the Rec 709 node, the highlight roll-off node, and the exposure node. Compound all the nodes, then append the FilmUnlimited power grade. Before saving this as a new power grade, I like to add noise reduction in the very first node. For most material, Resolve's standard noise reduction works well. Generally, I'll leave the mode as fast and only use the chroma setting, setting it to between 3 and 8. For heavier noise reduction, I use Neat Video, and that is also applied at the first node. Once you've set this up, grab a still to save a new power grade, so you don't need to repeat the process again. And make sure you save the still in one of the power grade folders, so you can access it across all projects. If you're using the LUT versions of Alexa, the method is the same. Here I'm going to replace the compounded Alexa power grade with the LUT version. Just make sure you use a version that outputs log C. The second method to match the Alexa is to use a color space transform node to convert from your camera's color space and gamma into ARRI wide gamut and ARRI log C. How accurate this is depends on the camera, but converting at least the gamma will get you into a better position than not doing this conversion. The power grade includes a CST as the first node. This can be used to do the camera conversion. In the CST, match the input gamma to your camera's gamma. Leave the output gamma as is. Then untick Apply Forward OOTF as it doesn't apply to this transform. Whether you also convert the color space depends on the camera. For some cameras it might make the emulation more accurate. For others, it might push it in the wrong direction, so make sure you test across a variety of source material to see if it produces decent results.